Thank you for joining us on Black Investments Matter. I'm Antoine Anderson. This is the Ujamaa Network, and we told you yesterday that when the witnesses were called for today, after this continuance on this motion, that they were going to call Fani Willis's father, and sure enough, they did, and he did not disappoint. Just in one exchange, one line of questioning, in and out, he summed up entirely why this channel exists. We're also going to hear from former Governor Roy Barnes and what he has to say about the state of this country, even to this day, right now, brings it all into focus. And what this trial is actually about, not about the salacious details we're going to get into as well, but just pay attention.
Good morning, Mr. Good morning. Correct. Good morning, Council. When your daughter moved or left the house that she owned, did she say anything to you about having a large savings of cash? Oh no, no. See, maybe excuse me, and Your Honor, I'm not trying to be racist, okay? But it's a black thing, okay? I was trained, and most black folks, they hide cash or they keep cash, and I trained. You always keep some cash because I've been places, and just because of the color of my skin, for example, I took a fellowship at Harvard when my daughter was just if I might, Your Honor, when I was just, she was just, maybe 3 years old. And I remember going to a restaurant in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I had a American Express credit card and maybe a Visa or whatever. And I had a lot of what they call traveler's checks. I don't even know if they still have traveler's checks, but traveler's checks. And there was a sign said, with a credit card. For whatever reasons, the man would not take my American Express credit card. So I pulled out my Visa card, and he wouldn't take my Visa card. So then I pulled out my traveler's checks. He said, "We don't take checks." Now these were traveler's checks. This was money. I had a $10 bill. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And he said, the bill for my wife at the time, Fani's mother, Fani, and myself was like $9.95, and I had a $10 bill. It was all that. I always remember that. But even before that, I've always kept cash. And I've told my daughter, you keep 6 months worth of cash always. For example, I had 3 safes in my house. I put some of my clients' stuff there too, things I didn't want other lawyers to be, because you're always in a firm, and I knew that there were special conditions. So some of my clients' things I would bring home, put them in the safe. But I've always kept safes. And as a matter of fact, I gave my daughter her first cash box and told her always keep some cash. So is that a yes? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's all I got, Jim.
So not only does Mr. Floyd corroborate what his daughter said just the day before, down to the number of safes he kept in the house and the one he gave her to keep money on hand at all times. She also gave context as to why they do it. The reality, the economic reality of African Americans, even to this day, there are some places that just do not want to do business with you, and that's what this is all about. It's unfortunate that this truth had to come out during this Trump trial, but it's truth nonetheless. And if you thought that the bombshell stopped there, wait till you hear what Roy Barnes, former governor of Georgia, had to say about why he turned down the position of special prosecutor when asked by Fani Willis. Take a listen.
She asked me she asked me to come down, and I met with her and Nathan Wade, and there were several other in the meeting. She asked me, said they were beginning this investigation, and she asked me if I'd be interested in being special prosecutor, to which I replied, that I had mouths to feed at a law office, and that I would not do that. And also, I just had a bad, well, I won't say bad because it happens from time to time, but I just had the FBI to report a fella, militia trainer, to me that said they were concerned that he was making threats against me. And because I thought it was because of the flag, but I asked him and he said, no, it was because I was too close to the Jews, quote unquote. And I told DA Willis I'd lived with bodyguards for 4 years and I didn't like it. And I wasn't going to live with bodyguards for the rest of my life.
Now, he said that type of anti-Semitism, that type of racism comes from time to time. I mean, this is a sad commentary on what is actually at stake here, because, see, we have to focus on the fact that this election was in the process of being stolen by supporters of the former president who echo those kind of sentiments. Now, you don't have to like it, what I'm saying. Most of you will hate it. But is it true? I think it is. And since we're not doing enough to distance the party from that type of rhetoric, when you allow something to go on for so long, it becomes your narrative. So work harder on that. Now, speaking of narratives, the messiness factor is now going to be on display. Both of the next two individuals I'm talking about, Robin Yearly and Terrence Bradley. These are both individuals who worked with both Nathan Wade and Fani Willis. Robin worked with Fani Willis and were friends since college. It is that person that Ashley Mershon went after as a witness to testify against her friend. Nathan Wade was partners in the law firm with Terrence Bradley. They were friends. In fact, Terrence Bradley was representing him on his divorce. But that's the witness that Ashley Mershon put on trial. This thing went all types of sideways, particularly Terrence Bradley's testimony, because in addition to both of those individuals being fired by their friends because of Robin's work ethic or quality of work terminated. Keep in mind, Robin was the one who sublet the condo that Fani stayed in when she was ordered out of that home that she had worked for. That was the friend that sublet that condo. Yeah, Fani fired her. Well, the way she lays it out is that she was given the option to resign or be fired. And that came out through a little bit of tense questioning. On the Nathan Wade side, Terrence was severed from the partnership. Why? Well, at the tail end of that convo, it was alleged that he was being charged with some type of sexual misconduct at the firm. And the last witness they brought up, Mr. Austin Dabney, well, he was all set to corroborate what the district attorney's office was about to say versus what Mr. Bradley said. Like I said, this is a complete hot mess, and it's only getting messier. But it does strike a chord to say you've got to watch your friends even closer. Frenemies. This was a hot mess of a trial today. I don't know if we're getting any closer to the end of this, but there was more drama on this day than any other, more relevance to it, and maybe the focus can shift back to the individual that is being tried in this trial. That's Donald Trump.